Hi friend, in this video we will be discussing about PSProvider in PowerShell and we will try to understand what really it is and how many PS providers are available in PowerShell, and we will see some of the examples in demo. So let us start the video. So when we talk about PS provider, the first thing will come in our mind that what is PS providers. So PS provider is nothing but it's essentially an adapter, and that adapter let us connect external technology with PowerShell. And when we connect some external technology with PowerShell, so those external technology look like hierarchical data store. So data store is nothing but it's like a repository where we can store and manage the data. And when we use the PS provider, so we can see the external technology look like disk drive. So when something looks like a disk drive, so we can apply all the commandlets to these technologies also. We can work like a file, how we work in our normal file system in the computer. And every provider has some access point, and those access points are called PS drive. So when we use the provider, so technically we work like a PS drive, and PS drive is nothing but its representation of storage or resource we connect to as the file system on a disk. So when we attach any external thing or any storage or any resource to our system, so because of PS drive only we are able to see that storage or resource like a file. And although there is already inbuilt PS providers available in PowerShell, but still we can create our own PS providers, and we can also install providers which has been developed by others. And how we can install and remove providers if something is not available, or if already available and if we want to remove that one. So there is concept called module. So when we import any module in PowerShell, so automatically any providers related to this module will be available to the current PowerShell session. And as soon as we remove the module, so again that provider will be removed automatically from the current PowerShell session. And when we use the commandlet called remove module, it's not going to uninstall the provider, it will only remove the module from the current PowerShell session. And since the module gets removed from the current PowerShell session, so all the providers also related to this one will be invisible to the current PowerShell, and we can only uninstall the providers loaded by the modules which we have imported. We cannot do anything which is already inbuilt available in PowerShell. And here you can see we have some list of providers using which we can work on these component in PowerShell. Like we have alias, certificate, environment, file system, function, registry, variable, and WS. So when we work on these providers, so it is very easy to access all these components in PowerShell. So after we get access, so we can easily either add something, or we can get list of something, or we can modify something, we can delete something. So all the command lists which we use to work in a file system, so most of the command will be applicable here. And there are some common commandlets also which will be used for all the providers, but still we can do some more to some specific provider. Say for example, if I am working to a certificate, so I will be easily copy a certificate, or I will move a certificate from one location to another location. And if I working on file system, so either we can create file or directory, we can change the property, or we can append something to the file, or we can even delete file system files in directory. So likewise we can work on function also, registry also, and variable WSMan. And when we work on WSMan, either we can change the property in the local system or in remote system also. So this is how it is helping us to work in PowerShell like a file system to the external technology. And here we will be seeing some demo related to this one. So to see the demo, I have opened PowerShell. This is PowerShell ISE. Here we will be trying few commands and we will be seeing how we are getting the output. So first of all, the question is, if I want to get list of all the providers, so there should be some commandlets available in PowerShell. So to get list of all the available providers, we have one commandlet called get -psprovider. So first of all, we will be seeing syntax of that one, then we will see the actual output of that one. So to get syntax of any of the command, we have one commandlet called get command, and in this one I will have to pass the commandlet called PSProvider, and in this one I will have to pass a parameter called syntax. So after this I will be getting the syntax of this commandlet called get PSProvider, and in this one mostly we have two options to pass the parameter. First is PSProvider and the second is common providers. And now you can see that both are enclosed in square bracket. It means both are optional. Either we can pass it or just we can ignore it. And in PSProvider also, -PSProvider is again optional. So either we can pass PSProvider as a parameter and then we pass the value, or straight away just we can pass the value. And if we are not passing anything, we will be getting list of all the providers from this commandlet, and if we are specifying any provider name, so we will be getting that specific provider only. So let's move further and we will be trying to get providers list. So after I have executed this commandlet, now you can see that I have got list of providers here. So this output contains mostly three columns. First is name, second is capabilities, and third is drives. So in name section you can see that whatever providers available in our system, so those all have been listed over here. So it is registry, alias, environment, file system, function, and variable. So if any module is not available in your system, so providers related to that module will not be loaded over here. So if you want to get the providers for any specific module, so first you have to import the module, or you have to import the snap-in if any PSProvider is related with any PS snap-in, then automatically it will be available over here. And in second column you are seeing that we have capabilities. So capabilities is nothing but it tells us how and what we can do and we can't do using these providers. Say for example, if we have should process capabilities, it means while working on any of the providers, if we are using any commandlet, so in that commandlet we will be having option to pass parameter called what if and confirm. And likewise, if any of the provider supports filter, so any of the commandlet while working on this provider will allow to use filter parameter. And same way, if we are working on again file system, so this will again allow us to use alternative credentials. And if any provider has capability of using transactions, it means while working on the commandlet related to this provider, we will be either able to change something, and after changing something we will be having option to either rollback or commit the change. And in next column you are seeing that we have drive. So drive is nothing but, as I had told you, that every PSProvider has data store representation. So drive is nothing but it is data store representation of these providers. So when we work on these providers, technically we will be working on these drives. We will be making changes or we will be doing any things into these drives. So now let's move to the other example. In other example, we will be getting list and we will be trying to filter some specific providers only. So to get the list again, I will be using same commandlet called get PSProvider. And in this one, if I want to filter the provider which is starting with F and R letters, and currently the output is getting displayed into tabular format. Now if I want this output to be displayed in list format, so I will have to use a commandlet called format list. So after I use this one, you will be seeing that now I am getting the output in list format. In this one, you can verify that the output what we got in that one, provider's name is either starting with F like file system and function, and registry starting with R. So this is how you can get the list according to your feasibility. And now if I want to check which providers is related to which module or which PS snapping, so I have feasibility to use that one also. So first of all, after getting the output, I want to convert this output into tabular format, and in table only I can specify what are all those columns we want, and I will specify the column name as module and PS snapping, and I want all the output columns to be aligned automatically, so I have used the parameter called auto size. So now you can see that we have got output in three columns. First is name, module and PS snapping. In modules we are not getting anything because none of these providers are related with any of the modules. All these providers are related to a specific PS snapping called Microsoft.PowerShell.core. So that is the reason in front of everything you are seeing that we are getting only single PS snapping. So in case you have imported any other module into the system and that has PSProvider, so that will be available here. So when we use the same command, so automatically you will be able to see those output here. And next we will be seeing how to get the home directory of PSProvider. So we will be using commandlet like this only, just we will replace module with home. So in this case we will be getting home directory of the provider. So currently you are seeing that only one provider, which is file system, is having home directory. And now if I want to get list of the content from any of the provider, so we will have to just use the normal file system function only. So in normal file system, how we used to get list of content? So to get list of content, just we use the commandlet called get child item. And in this one you can see if I want to get list of content inside the alias provider, so for that I will have to use the drives, and drive for alias provider is alias only, and just I will pass parameter alias, and it is mandatory to use colon when you are working on any of the drives. So likewise we will be getting list of all the aliases available under this drive. And now if I want to change my current location, say for example if I am at this location and now if I want to change to different location, say for example if I want to change my location to anything like environment provider, so how we will be doing? We will be just using commandlet called set location, and in that one I will have to give the provider name. So here provider name is env, and after that I will have to give the colon. So now as soon as I have executed this commandlet, you can see my current location has been changed to env. And from here only, if I want to get list of content inside any other provider, then we have that feasibility as well. So to get list of content, I will have to use again the same commandlet called get child item, and in this one if I want to get content inside the registry, so registry provider supports two drives. There is HKLM and HKCU. So if I want to get anything from the HKLM, so I will have to use like this. And after, if I want to get from any of the directory, say for example, if I want to get content of the software directory in HKLM drives, so just I will have to use like this. So you remember that I am currently in env drive, but I am going to get the content of HKLM drive. So let's execute this one, and now you can see that whatever content is available inside this one HKLM, so everything we got here. And if I want to change something, or we can add something, we can delete something, so we can work like a normal file system only. To summarize this topic, so PSProvider is nothing but it's a adapter which helps us to connect PowerShell with external technology, and it represents the external technology as hierarchical data store. Like we can see those data store like a drives or file system or folder. So in that case it will be very easily to work with those technologies. I hope this was clear, and that's all in today's video.